It's Mark Husson's Astrology Hour. Time for you to expect something wonderful.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Mark Husson, and it's Mark Husson's Astrology Hour coming to you live at about 1 minute after 8 in the morning on December 22nd, 2025. How are you doing? So we may not be streaming on the radio, so you may only be able to hear me if you come into YouTube because for some reason our little broadcaster isn't connecting. So I'm at a loss of what to do. It's saying it is connecting, but it isn't. So we'll just leave it at trying. And hopefully you all can come here to hear it at some point. So those of you that are here, thank you so much. I am going to give a shout out to the chat room here. So I will put this over here. I'm going to just keep trying to connect with this little thing. Poor thing. It's just having a hard time. And we'll figure it out later what the issue is. I really, really don't want to figure it out with you guys here right now. But it just means we're not streaming on the radio station. And that's okay, right? I mean, people will come and find us if they want us, right? That's what they got to do. So we got a little light in the background happening for the festivities. I couldn't decide purple. Now that's a blanket that Annie got. And our friend Annie sends me a lot of shirts. I'm going to have this very festive gold glittery shirt for New Year's that Annie sent. We've known her for a year. She's been amazing. And Annie, thank you for all that you do. You're so sweet. And all of you. So let me say hi to the room and I have to look down here to get you guys. And so a lot of you come a little early, so it's so great to say hi to you early and get ready. But Liz is in the house, and Tracy is here. It's so sweet. And Shelly and Lori is here. And Lenny is here. Hi, Lenny. I didn't even see you sneak in. I would have said something. And let's see. Stream Elements is here. That's a thing that we set up so that if you do something, like if you would have subscribed or something, it would probably put your name or say thank you automatically or something. I know that we try to keep that very subtle from you guys, but that'll get set up at some point. I'll have Sebastian do it. Sebastian is my 23-year-old gold mine that I found on Fiverr that it just does all the, I mean, you know, it's so nice to have young in your life, like those people that their brain cells just do something a little different. So Jamie is in the house, and Lori and Carolyn Ferris is here. Nadine is here. Cosmic MC is here. Penny's here. If I overlook you guys, it's just because the print is really small and I'm moving really fast. Deb is here. Thanks, Deb. Hi, Quelly. I'll bring this up to me. Truly's in the house. Let's see, this is what I look at. This is my little board. And so you guys are on this side, and you know, you got to have good eyes. And that's what these are for. Hippie Kitchen Witch is here. Thank you. Hey, Mark, I just landed my new tiny home. I'm unpacking and listening to you. Oh, how fun. I love little tiny homes. It's like Jupiter and Virgo loves that. My big old body doesn't love that, but my Jupiter and Virgo loves tiny homes. I actually watched the series about tiny homes a lot. Hi, Karen. Welcome. And thanks for coming. Good morning. I'm in Utah. Oh, I love it. Yeah, you're used to East Coast time. I know how that is. I know. I love having the earlier time. It's already late on the East Coast, y'all. So I'll tell you what. There is just a couple things. Those of you that are members, thank you so much for figuring Discord out with me. It's really easy over time. You kind of get used to the rhythm of it. It's sort of like, oh, it's just that's it. Where you're just typing in. I'm going to do a mini video and show you again. Like I'll keep doing those. I have Sebastian cleaning up my messes that I go, but we have a section, if you see it, it's going to it's something with the word pets in it, where I want you to upload pictures of your pets, and we can just keep doing that. On my other Discord from Shelly and the Yorkies, she has a special little room for pictures if you want to share. And we're going to do things like that. But, we're just kind of building it, and you're a part of it. And I thank you for being for being such a sweet part of it. I'm telling you, today, the moon is in Aquarius right now. It just went into Aquarius. Prior to that, it was heavy. I was like, y'all are making me all like sniffly in the winter. Winter does that. And we still have the Pisces moon to deal with, which is coming up. So if you've been emotional, join the club. It's been really like, oh my gosh, like that nighttime thing gits to me, I guess, the early night, the early evening. It's warm and like I love it. I do love it. But it does bring up feelings for me, like a lot of emotion. And I start thinking about people in the past, this holiday. Oh, and then we're going to have Pisces moon during it. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. So I'm ready though. I'm excited to get it rolling. I was for a minute there. I was like, did I unmute myself? Yes, I did. 220 square feet. How adorable. I love little tiny homes. That is so cool. Good. Well, many, many happy times in there for you. That sounds so wonderful. Hi, Fairy SF. Thank you for coming. Tiny home is my dream, says Lenny. Oh, so many of us want them. I think there's just a desire to feel that cocooning and to feel that life, like safety and that warm embrace. I know that, look at the people who love tiny homes. Thank you, Denise. That's so fun. I love laughing with you too. Yes, share pictures if you want. That's another thing we can do on Discord. Just it says pets. I'll put things up there for anything you want to share, pets and more or something. We'll name it and we'll put up pictures where you can share. Like we need a place where we can have a little community that's not just once a week. And that's what the Discord thing is. So if you are a member, and this isn't like enticing you to be a member, honestly, you got to do what you want to do. But if you are a member, in the post section on YouTube, I put the link in there. It's an invitation link. If there's an issue, anything, just write me. We're figuring it out. I swear to you. But I have good tech support. I really do. I've always have. Thank God. I've always needed good tech support. So today, the moon went into Aquarius, like I said, and we're going to take a look at kind of what that means. It's also the week of Christmas. This is the week where the solstice just happened. The night is now where it's ticking back the other way, but that moment, that sweet embrace moment is so where it's dark and the darkest time of the year. Now we have a couple people from Australia here that are experiencing the reverse, right? They're now they just had their longest day. But studies suggest that even if you are down under, quote unquote, from us, you experience it in the same way at the same cycle. And there's reasons behind it. There's actually a science behind it that I won't get into. But just know that all of us experience this sort of coming in moment kind of at the same time. And you'll see how people deal with it in different ways. We all have our way of dealing with it. There's a lot of people, lash out. A lot of people because they don't want the light. It's like, it's too dark, right? Like, no. And so it's interesting to see how people cope. just with the tropical version of it, just with what's happening in the sky. There is also the psychological thing that happens as we know we're into a sea change, a change of temperature in general, like collectively. And as astrologers, we're here, I'm going to show us, we are kind of used to it, watching it, but you never get fully used to the idea of, okay, I'm not on the top there. Hang on. Let me just fix all this real quick. There it is. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, I'll put this and then this and see if that fixes it. It may not. Okay. Let me get it. Let's see. This changes it. There we go. Okay, we'll do it this way, but let me get the other picture up. Yeah, we cleaned this up, believe it or not, but not. Here we go. So this would be background. Yes. Okay. So then I need to bring this on top. Hold on, you guys. We got this. We got this. I'm in the business. There it is. I think I'm just going to go to the big one. Let's just go to the big one. You don't need to see my face. There we go. Let's make this big. And let's just take a look here for a minute, because this is where, here, let me bring these up too. And yeah, let me see if I can get on the radio still while I have you. See, it says connecting, but it isn't connecting. So radio people aren't going to hear us. We'll just have to figure that out. It might be time just to stop streaming, simulcasting the stream, and just go directly for YouTube, because that seems like the thing that works. Okay, so we're back on this. Now, if you notice, I kept the sun. Let me take off the nodes real quick. Just pay attention a little bit to the chart. This is just fun to do. So this is the sun. That's the symbol of the sun. It's in Capricorn. So we know we just entered winter, because Capricorn would be at 0 on the first day of winter, right? And so the sun is now, but this is Christmas, right? So let me get it to today. So I'm going to change this for today. Hold on, you guys. And then today is the 22nd. So see, the sun should be about 0, almost ready to go to 1. There it is. Okay, and the moon is at the final stages of Capricorn, except it did change. So let's get the time right here. And we will. We got all this. So the time, no, we want to do it by the hour. And we'll put it right there, 8 o'clock. Let's make it 9 o'clock so we can see it going into Aquarius. There it is. And that's mountain time. So that's right now. That's it. It's just 12 minutes, 1 minute behind. So there's the moon, just went into Aquarius. There's the sun in the 1 degree of Capricorn, which means we just had the winter solstice. And those two are just like one sign apart. This is the moon in Aquarius. So the moon and the sun were together for the new moon. So we had the new moon on Friday. Hopefully you guys felt that pop. I think it was actually really early morning. When was it? Like the new moon was the new moon. It just was like Friday, wasn't it? I think, or Thursday. So there we are. The new moon. Oh, nobody cares about me being organized or disorganized. There it is, Friday the 19th. The new moon was at 5 in the evening, 5:43. Okay, so we had the new moon in Capricorn, which I think was a heavy moon. I think a lot of you might have felt some of the seriousness of it. You might have felt some of the, you might have felt a little bit of that oversense of like a review. And I know for a lot of people had spoken to me about this review we do, like, was I wrong? Am I doing okay? And Capricorn does that to us. Like, that can happen on a new moon. It's very common to have that feeling of like, what's going on? And it pops right when the moon hits. So the new moon was a little heavy, I think. We got to go into Saturday with that sort of new Capricorn energy. Then we went right into the winter solstice, where the sun left Sagittarius and went into Capricorn. And now today we're sort of still reeling and adjusting. This is kind of an adjustment couple of days. So don't be surprised if today doesn't feel like you're just swimming and joyful and happy and ready. We're just kind of coming out of that solstice change, and we're kind of getting used to it, what I like to call our sea legs on. If you are a Capricorn, this is your birthday time period. Let me just wish you a very happy birthday. Sagittarians, if I missed your birthday, happy birthday. I hope it was a remarkable time for you. You know, a lot of Sagittarians love their time period. It's hard to be a Capricorn during this time because of the holidays, and so many Capricorns, it's so perfect, get lumped into the Christmas holiday thing, especially if your birthday is close to the 22nd or, 23rd to this time, like, especially right around now. And so you probably, hopefully, demanded at an early age that you separate those two, or your parents were kind enough to do that for you, separate the two holidays. Like, make sure you definitely got overwhelmed and spoiled on your birthday, and then same at Christmas. But being a Capricorn means you came in with an expectation that probably wasn't going to happen. Okay, you come in old as a Capricorn. Let's talk about that just for a second. Capricorn energy are people who come in with a feeling of like, okay, I am going to have to survive this, okay? And whatever it is. That doesn't mean they had a hard life, but it does mean that it was a life that required them to mature up a little bit early on. And if you look at your life, it's a very Saturnian life for Capricorns. I talked to a Capricorn once who came from a very wealthy family and said, well, I had money my whole life. It wasn't like a struggle, but God, you could tell the pressure on the poor guy. And I always tell the story of a young client, a young friend, a 9-year-old kid, 9 years old, came to our store and wanted to know if he could mow our lawn. And he was just precious. He was adorable. He had a Capricorn moon. I didn't know it at the time. Of course, we let him mow the lawn. And when we paid him, he said, do you mind if you could break that 10 up into 2 5s? And I go, sure. And he goes, I have to give my grandmother, I have to tell her you paid me, but I'm trying to save on my own. Okay, that was like the heartbreaking story of like how it all started, where this little Capricorn moon kid had to pay rent, 9 years old. So she had him go mow lawns, but then he had to give all the money to her. So he was having us break it up for him. Now, as it turns out, one day he started really getting into astrology with us. Unfortunately, yeah, like if you're going to come into our world, you're going to be, a new ager for a little bit. And when we talked about Capricorns and Capricorn moons, he said to me, I didn't have such a hard life. I don't understand. God bless him. And I said, okay, at what age did you start paying rent? And he said, like when I was 8. And how long did you know when did your mother leave? He said, when I was 3. He remembers her packing up and leaving him with his grandmother. And it was like, it was literally heartbreaking. But when you heard it through the lens of a Capricorn, it was like, yeah, I doubt. It's what you do. And it was like, wow. And so I said, well, can you just trust me on this point? Your life was tough, not typical. And he said, okay. And I didn't want to just say, you had a horrible childhood. It was sort of like, it was tough. That's an unusual childhood. And you did really well with it. But, a lot of people still have their parents at home who love them, who didn't watch their mother walk out the door. So it was heart-wrenching for me a little bit. But we definitely created a system where he could have his own savings account and have his own school. I got to get him in the school that was away from, when he was in adolescence, he joined a gang. So, we sort of guided him. And that's another Capricorn moon thing. You create people in your life also that sort of seem to be that protect you, to feel okay. So anyway, Capricorn. That's, if you know a Capricorn, if you know somebody with a Capricorn moon, they probably grew up a little early and probably had to. Okay. But then I grew up to think everyone should have a Capricorn moon in their lives, right? Because they're extraordinary at taking care of you. I don't know how I know that. I just know it. I just know. Okay, let's take a look. Let me see how y'all are doing. Yes, Western astrology. This is Western astrology. It's by the tropical zodiac. Okay, so we don't do the Vedic astrology, which is where the planets actually are, but it's sort of an oxymoron. They do it up to where the planets actually are to Saturn, but then they ignore Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. but we do it by the tropical, because at one point the tropical zodiac, which is seasonal, at one point every Aries person on the spring, every child born on spring was crazy, like was a little ram, right? And so 2,000 years of watching that as the earth wobbled, it changed, but we kept it based on the seasonal changes because it seemed to be pretty accurate. Yes, you have a Capricorn moon. Yeah, Esther. Okay, you understand it, girl. Welcome to the room, by the way. I'll take a look at the chat room, you guys, as we go, just in case you have questions or whatever comes up. But so if somebody asks you, is this Western astrology or Vedic astrology, which is Hindu astrology? This is Western, which means we follow the tropical zodiac. So tropical means wet. We follow the seasons. Okay, so always on the first day of spring is going to be the first day of Aries, always. And the first day of winter is always the first day of Capricorn. And we like it for the psychological temperament that gets developed in the way you can understand a chart from a psychological perspective. Okay, now, again, with the Capricorn energy, came in early, came in old. Okay, most of the Capricorns that you'll meet have an old sort of feeling to them. And what happens is, as they mature, they've dealt with life that most of us have to deal with in our 20s, they've already dealt with. So what happens to them is they start getting the ability to laugh, getting the ability to have fun later in life. It's like they work really hard. It's like the symbol of retirement, right? Except they could do it at 30. Some of them just work. Like if you have a strong Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn. Okay, so Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So all the rules of Saturn that you hear, being the old timekeeper, father time, the deeply responsible one, the stern taskmaster, all of the Saturnian things are under that guise of Capricorn. So if your Saturn is next to a planet that's like personal to you, like the moon or the Venus or Mars or the sun, then you're an honorary Capricorn, or at least you have that sign in honorary Capricorn energy, and it will develop later. So I have Capricorn on my rising sign. I'm just now getting into all this stuff I'm doing. I was private and shy my whole life. Okay. It was really like embarrassingly shy. I did not know how to maneuver an external world very easily. That's Saturn. If you have Saturn in a strong placement, you will be somebody who learns later that late bloom is a good thing. There's things like now I'm doing this. There's things I can't care about. There's things I can't care what your opinion is of me about. I can't. So that's the part that I think is nice when you're a Capricorn or when you have strong Capricorn energy, that you later get it. You don't, like you get it early, and later you get to play because you put it all away. Doesn't matter. Okay, so today, though, the moon slipped into Aquarius. And that means that globally, we're all now free to access the tools of Aquarius. That's what it means. Regardless of like where it falls in your chart is very important, in what sector it's in, because that'll be the one that sort of opens up for you. Like for me, it's in the very bottom of the chart, the Aquarius part. So it is very personal. I was feeling a little emotional. I was feeling I want to get this house straightened up and right? And so and think about things from a global perspective. Like it's okay to understand why somebody does what they do and not hate them for it. Okay? It's okay to have that kind of understanding. Like we don't have to, like in our version, in our personal world, cancel people because they don't agree with us or because they have a different place that they come from. And that's what Aquarius gives us. So we have that opportunity to sort of pop into that a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Good. Have a brother who was born on Christmas and will be 78. Lori, one of our advisors, Oliver, was born on Christmas, and we talk about that, how hard that is to separate the two. And I don't know what I would do. I think I would make sure that after all the gifts were open, that afternoon, I guess, we get the cake and we start celebrating them. That's a tough one. It is so hard to figure out what to do. But I think families figure it out. I hope your brother got it. So if you track the moon, then you get a chance to see, like mine's in the 4th house. Tomorrow's day after tomorrow, the moon will be in Pisces on Christmas. and it'll be in the 5th house. And then it'll, I get to see the energy of how that affects me from there. Like, I've been watching the moon for so long, I already know. There was a time, if you just watched your moon, if you just watched the moon in the sky, just watched it where it was in your chart, the clockwork that it tells you is so ridiculously on time that you might be shocked you haven't done it sooner. Like, I know when somebody says it's Aquarius moon, I immediately, boom, 4th house, perfect time to bake bread and get the house in order, which is my 2 things to do when we're done here. And then it goes into Pisces, and I already know how I'm going to feel. It's part of my grand trine. I know when it goes, into Aries that we're going to pop out. It's going to be way like no matter what I'm feeling under the Pisces moon, and I feel a lot under the Pisces moon, my mind tells me when it goes into Aries 2 days later, that pops. So don't take any of this stuff seriously. What a gift that is. You can, get to dive into your feelings fully knowing it's going to pop. You're not always going to feel this way. And also prevents me from acting on that place I'm in that moment, right? So that's that's a beautiful thing about understanding the moon cycle. Okay. Now I'm going to bring the planets in here. We're going to look at them. If you are a Capricorn though, happy birthday to you. Share your life story. And I want you to look at your life from the point of view of, was it a struggle? Because you may not actually see it as a struggle because you're a Capricorn. I think you have a different barometer of what is a struggle. And it's very interesting to know, especially if you're the moon. Now, what's the difference between the moon and the sun? For those of you new to astrology, the sun sign is your sign. Like, what sign are you? I was born in July. I'm a Cancer. Okay, that's your sign. That's your sun. The moon could be anywhere, any of the 12 signs, because it's rolling fast, right? And so wherever your moon is sort of the more intense components of you. Believe it or not, that's how powerful the moon is. Where your moon is, you must get those needs met, or you become a lunar lunatic. So know where your moon is, and you know that by your time of birth, okay? Where the time of birth and getting your chart done. You can get free charts at astro.com. You can pay for them at 12reports.com, and if you're a member, you can pay for them at a discount at writtenbythestars.com. The numerology section is broken. The people who put that together, the numerology people, Hans de Cause, are fixing it. But it has nothing to do with me or the site, so I apologize if you've tried to get a numerology report. You can't. They're fixing it. I can't do anything about it. Now, so you know where your moon is, then you know what your needs are. The difference between the sun and moon, if you were a Leo sun and a Leo moon, if you had a person who was a Leo, born as a Leo, and you had another person who was any other sign with a Leo moon, they could be any sign, but have a Leo moon, they don't look a thing alike. Okay? They don't look a thing alike, but they have the same drive. The Leo person comes in with a sense of, first of all, knowing that they look for approval out here, knowing that there's a sense something is like they're special, but they just need to get it reflected back to them. And they know that. And there's a certain natural, like, I am what I am. And I love when you love on me. The moon Leos work at it. They work hard at it. They want to be seen. Though we had a Leo moon in our life we wanted to get a t-shirt that said, "What about me?" Like, no matter what was going on, it would always go, and it was adorable because we got to laugh at the level at which that would happen constantly. Like, and it was just so perfect. What about me? At the end of any conversation, but what about me? How does it affect me? And the moon needs that. So the moon strives for that completion, that closure, that absolute, I need the oxygen of whatever sign I'm in. I need that thing to be fulfilled. So they work at it. They try harder. So the moon is way more aggressive at getting its needs met than any other placement or any other planet. So when people say, "Oh, I don't know my moon, but I'm this," but they don't seem like they're that, it's because that moon is in a completely different energy. And then you can break it down to, is the moon in a compatible energy to the sun? What's that mean? Like, if you're a fire sign, is your moon in a fire sign? Or is your moon in something completely different? And we'll get into that in another show. But the whole point is pay attention to your moon if you can find it. But the moon in the sky is telling us a lot about what we need to know about the energy today, the emotional energy, what we need to be okay with. Today, this moon in Aquarius and for the next 2 days is asking us to get a bigger picture, to get an overview, to see not just the microscopic needs of the individual, but the needs of the group, the collective. What is the collective? What are your ideals? What are you connecting to? And, for some of you, it's like a church thing this week. It'll be like being connected to your spiritual community, to your synagogue. It's like this group energy is very important. And this moon today really catalyzes that. Like to be a part of a like-minded group of people. Others of you who do not get involved outside may do it through social media. Like, I really want to be connected. But please pay attention to that drive. I'm checking to see how you're doing. I have a person that is Leo Sun, Leo Moon, and the moon is in the 10th house of Capricorn. Yeah, Jamie, that is, it's so good that you know that, so you can see the drive. Like that moon might be used, the way they get recognized is by being helpful. It could be that. I mean, it's so interesting to piece it together because it's in that house of Capricorn. So it has that Capricorn energy to it. I know it gets very complicated for people who aren't used to looking at astrology and all the nuances, but that's a really good thing to know. My life has been a struggle, but I think of it as this is what I came here for. Yeah, are you a Capricorn, Quelly? Because that's a common Capricorn ideology, and it's very helpful. I am sure my Aquarius moon makes me less of a... I don't know about that. I don't know. I think Aquarius can make it a little worse. I'm not sure how you do it. We'll have to ask a neutral friend. No, I bet you're right, though, Nadine. Based on how I've seen you... wait a minute, is that the one? No, that's Fran. That's Fran. Oh, Ellsworth. We'll have to see. I mean, talk to a friend. I think that's adorable. But based on what I know from you, you've been very sweet. So I bet you're right. Oh my God, Pisces moon during Christmas time. I've had a very difficult time during that moon. Maybe it's being a Scorpio magnifies the emotional water energy. Every time it goes into Pisces, Pisces hard times happen. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Listen, Nadine. Embrace it. Like this time it's really important when you feel that way, rather than being the victim of the energy that comes in, it's a part of you inside that now feels permission to come out. So then bring permission to the adult, the current Nadine, and like separate those two. The emotional Nadine who's feeling hurt and needs to feel vulnerable. Make sure big Nadine is bringing her in every time she feels a tinge. So you're forced to sort of hug her, which means you're forced to sort of identify with the other part of you that isn't wounded. It's a good practice, but it's nothing to be afraid of. Gemini moon, Scorpio sun. Gemini wants to gab and Scorpio always. Y'all cracked me up. That is so brilliant. Yeah, the Gemini wants to blah, blah, blah. Do you know how many people I have that are Scorpios with Gemini moons? I have 2 right off the top. And it is true. There is a point where the gabbing can become superficial just as a way to cover up from everything else that's going on. Because when this shit gets real, the gabbing it stops. That's very funny. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. That's Pamela. Pamela, you're funny. Cancer moon in the 4th with Jupiter, while Jupiter transiting my 4th. Oh, so you're having a Jupiter return. So yeah, moving to my tiny home, sort of inevitable. That's right. During my 2nd Saturn return. That's brilliant. You get to match that up. Jupiter in the 4th house of home, and she moved into a tiny home. I'm so envious. I love that concept of tiny home. I hope we get to see a picture someday. That's very sweet, even though I respect completely your privacy. Cat Moon Quelly. Okay, that makes so much sense, sweetheart. Yeah, that's funny. I love that y'all are getting, astrological humor is great. Those of you that are newbies, we're going to get you caught up. Just if your eyes glaze over because we're talking like rulers and blah, blah, blah and houses, just don't worry about it. It will come. It kind of gets in. Whether you think you're learning it or not, it gets in. Okay, look, let's get the chart back up. I'm going to throw Mercury in, and we're going to talk a little bit about Mercury. My dad lives in a tiny home. Oh my gosh, yes, always. Yeah, Fran, if you, I don't know if I don't know if they'll let you post a video here. You're welcome to put a link, but you can also do it in the Discord room if you want. I think if you have any trouble where to post a link or where to post the actual video, let me know. Saturn near the midheaven. In Virgo, near the midheaven. Does that make me more Saturnian? Yes, it definitely makes your mother more Saturnian for you as well. And the Saturn in Virgo means, if that's a Virgo with a V, it means that a lot of that you learned by being criticized. You learned how to keep yourself to be perfect, especially in your job and in your outside world. But a lot of that was brought to you by your mother, by way of your mom. All right, let me turn on some of these planets, you guys. This is, V for very. Very Virgo, I think. I think that's what you mean. I'm slow to the take, you guys. I've noticed this about myself, very literal. Because I have so much water in my chart, you think it's very intuitive. I think I compensated for the lack of Earth with that Jupiter and Virgo I read directions, and I'm that guy with my Jupiter and Virgo, right? That's the only Earth I have. And I read directions, and if there is one thing, did they say, I have to have the precise, you tell me exactly, because I'll be literal and do something very unintuitive. And it's funny to watch, but it's great to know about yourself, right? Because then you can tell people, I literally followed every word you said, and you left out this little piece, whatever it might be. But yeah, it's important to me, little details. Mercury in Sag. I have 0 Earth in my Aries. When you don't have Earth, you tend to act like a Earth person, for real. You set up your outside parameters because you have no Earth. You have to compensate. We're gonna have shows about this for real. You guys, there's so many. Okay, this is Mercury in Sag. This is still the optimism and the hope that's available to us. We got this. It's gonna be here through the holidays. She said, I have pictures. I have 2 little Chihuahua girls with me too. I just don't know how to send pictures here. I guess I would have to figure out Discord. I don't like sounds of Discord. I know. I'm going to do a video. Don't worry. Save your pictures. It's okay. I don't know if this lets you upload pictures in YouTube. I don't think it does. But if you are on Discord, we'll figure it out. I'll do a video and you can show us. Just relax. It's all okay. Or send them to me by email. If you want me to post them, if I have your permission, I'll put them up Discord for you. Okay. So, oh my gosh, there's so many things I wanted to talk to you all about. I don't want to forget. So let me remind myself that I want to talk to you about my upcoming shows that I have with guests. I'm going to have guests. I've been working all day on a screen. I wanted to even show you the screen, but it's on a different, I'd have to disconnect to do that, but it's on a dual screen. So I'm going to be like literally, we'll have panels, me on the left, somebody on the right, or vice versa, whatever. And we're going to do readings for members, but we're going to talk to you guys directly. We're going to have little shows like this where you come in and you talk, and it's going to be so much fun. But it's so close. It takes time to get the technology down for me, and then get the agreement of the staff that want to play with me to do that. And then we're going to, over time, just have everybody be a guest on my show, not on a Monday, and we're going to do readings for the members. And so, reason to be a member, I got to keep those perks coming. Okay, Kelly. Okay, Capricorn 1231 with Aquarius moon and rising. Okay, Saturn on top at the sun at 9 degrees. So I'm Saturn for sure. My mother, darling Leo, said, I was born old. I love taking care of people. Yes, indeed you do. And that moon, oh, I have so much to say about these placements, you guys, but look how beautiful you all know yourselves. And you can use astrology to understand and love yourself. You can use astrology to understand that sometimes you beat yourself up for things that you don't even have access to. And that's a big thing in astrology. Happy Christmas, everyone. Thank you for coming in, Kay. That's Kay, I think, right? Hi, Kay. Okay, so we have Venus that is going to change signs sometime. Venus is going to change on Wednesday, you guys. So Venus isn't helping the situation any, but it's going to get closer to the sun, which kind of indicates that Christmas is going to be okay. Okay, we're going to get to the Christmas chart here in a minute, but Christmas is going to be okay. You're not going to have a bad time. And plus, okay, hold on. Here's Mars. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so Mars has already hit the sun. All that anger's gone. Mars is now the plan. We need a plan. We need a plan. It's keeping us on task, keeping us the ability to keep a plan. And so we're kind of getting there. We're getting there. We want Venus to be in Capricorn, though. We want it out of Sag. It's in those later degrees, which get very intense. So Wednesday at 8 in the morning, Venus hits Capricorn right before it's Christmas Eve, right? Is that Christmas? Yeah, that's Christmas Eve. Okay, where's Jupiter? Boom, 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 boom. Jupiter is in Cancer, opposite all that Capricorn. And as we get later into the year, into the new year, that will make a link to that Jupiter. So that's all good. But it is saying warm, family, home, comfort. It's going to be one of those nostalgic Christmases. It has the potential for that. For those of you that are going to be with family, you have the potential to not recreate family, and not recreate the wounds, but to be the adult watching the child and all the feelings that run through the child. This is so important for you to separate out. Don't identify with the part of you that's hurt or painful so you can address the hurt and pain as a grown-up inside, okay? It's so important. Here's Saturn. Saturn in Pisces, all you Pisces. And the moon's going to be there too, so we're going to be stoic this Christmas. And look, they're connected. That Saturn and Jupiter are connected a little bit. Like that's a trine, so that they're connected. So we're getting some good uplift here. And the rest we'll just throw in Saturn, Uranus at 28 in Earth. Look at Pluto next to the moon today. So that's some of this intensity you're feeling today. Just because the moon in the sky is making things a little more intense, a little more Scorpio-like, which is fine. Okay, I'm coming back on. Squint a little so I don't shock you. There we are. Woo, Lord. Hey, Barbara, thank you. Thank you. So you guys, a couple things. I'm going to move the chart to show Christmas. So what Christmas holiday looks like. This is really going to be beautiful. Then on the 9th of January, we're going to have a prediction show. Serena is hosting a predictions show. That's a Friday. That gives us a chance to get through the holiday. The 1st is on a Friday, right? Wait a minute. The 1st is on the Thursday, obviously, and then the 2nd is a Friday. So the 9th is the next Friday. So the Friday after New Year's Day, we're going to have a prediction show where all the psychics that wanted to participate are going to participate. Some are going to be live. They're going to join Serena here, right here. And it's going to be fabulous. Just make a note of it. So we're not leaving. No one's going anywhere. Well, some people might be going through the holidays, but I'm going to be here next week. There's no breaks involved here. I love connecting with you way too much to have that sort of need for a break for me. But then we'll talk about what's up and coming and get us ready for the holiday Zoom. And then I'll talk to you about my schedule that's happening. I was going to look here at who was going to be there, but just get on the mailing list at 12house.com. Make sure you're connected to 12house.com. There's a lot going on. There is so much happening here as we get ready for the new year. I've got lists for the new year talking about the changes that are coming. I want to go over the dates with you, important dates. I've got all that ready, but I'm not going to do that today. We got to end the year in the present, right? Donna is saying, oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Let me bring this up here, you guys. Marley, Capricorn. Oh, Capricorn 1222. Oh, happy birthday, Aquarius rising. Pure chaos. You guys, I can't tell if you're being self-deprecating or not, but it is adorable, but I don't buy any of it. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. That's very sweet. That's today. 12/22. Hi. Happy birthday. Is it Marley? Okay. Or Marlis? It might be Marley. I think it's Marley. Happy birthday. Donna Weaver, she says, I'm 75-year-old female Cancer, and I've got my 70-year-old sister with a Capricorn sun as my power of attorney in my will. I'm so pleased she agreed to be that for me. Oh my gosh. Yes, I love you. You want a Capricorn involved with all that stuff, don't you? It feels good. Or Capricorn moon. I mean, and if you don't, you guys, it's not that, we're not trying to say if one is a good one doesn't mean the other is a bad one. Yeah, next week we're going to go into the what's up and coming. Well, next week is still 2025, right? But we'll go into I have a lot of things to talk about what's coming up for the year ahead. And so we'll see how it unfolds. So I do most of that next week, or do I do it this week? This week I want to get you all safe for Christmas, right? Feeling good. Yes, Marlise, today is my sister's birthday too. Oh, that's very sweet. Happy Monday and holiday to everyone. Much love from Patty. Hi, Patty. Thank you. Okay, you guys. So I love that you share the love. I'm going to do a video for Discord. Discord is one of the most... It does look like chaos on the back end, but it is one of the most effective ways to be connected in a chat room that feels really easy once you get used to it. But you can also press a button and call somebody on the phone in a digital sound that doesn't even use your service. It's weird. It's insanely good at what it does. We'll play with it and see if it's right for us, but I got to try all this stuff out. How am I going to know if y'all don't play with me, right? Now, let's look at Christmas Day and talk about anything we need to talk about what's up and coming, because we don't do anything on Christmas. John and I had a retail store, as many of you know. And when you have a retail store, Christmas Day, you don't want to get out of bed. You know what you do, you just and then a week later you have inventory to deal with, returns the next day. It is just, retail is hell. It is. And these days I don't know about what they do because so much is online. And I made one of the most successful predictions of all time in 1990. The neighbor came over who had a store next to ours and asked what I thought about shopping on the internet. And I said, it'll never happen. That's how good I am. So next time I make a prediction that's not based on anything except my gut feeling, you can laugh. You can laugh, or maybe think the opposite, because that might happen. Nowadays, it's crazy just how easy this all is, right? Who thought we couldn't even get a video back in the night? I was like, that'll never happen. I mean, how unimaginative, right? I just think that's how could you not think that? Okay, so let's go to Christmas Day, see what's happening here. This is the chart of Christmas. Hang on. There it is. Okay, so Christmas, I'll magnify what we need to look at. Look at this stellium. This is all these planets together in Capricorn. That's Capricorn. This is Venus, the Sun, Mars, all together close by. Now, Venus and the Sun, that sort of tells us there's a sweet ass energy. It's just kind. It's going to be okay. That feels really good. Mars is far enough away that we don't care. Now, down here is Pluto. Is the moon in Pisces. Now, this is Saturn and Neptune. They've been together. They're pulling apart a little bit here. But this is the one that we're going to be talking about for 2026. Neptune moving into Aries is huge, and Saturn is going to be right behind it. Those are two big, huge changes I want to talk to you about. Though Pluto here made its change recently into Aquarius, that's part of the big zeitgeist. That's part of the big emotional change that's happening in the world. And Uranus, it's going to be going into Gemini. And boy, that journey is going to be amazing too. And it's going to catch up with Pluto. We have a lot to talk about with technology, but I'll get into all that. This is Christmas Day. There's a little bit of guilt in the space, a little bit of emotion with all that Pisces. So if you tend to be somebody who feels bad, can I just talk to you about feeling bad? Let's get some tools together for feeling bad. Okay. Feeling bad, to me, is the mind's way of disciplining us so that we don't feel bad again. Only it's a broken record, and it's not always accurate. And I think it's really important that you take a note to watch what that mind is doing, because there is another part of you that is deciding to listen to that mind and not really objectively. It's identifying with it. It's believing everything it tells it. How important it is to take a part of you back up just a little and watch what's happening in the dialogue inside of you. And if your little kid is being abused and beat up because you think you did something wrong, and maybe you did, if you aren't helping yourself find the so what in what happened in the what's so, if you're not helping yourself find that little so what, then you're kind of being remiss in taking care of yourself. There is nothing here that's a big tragedy. If somebody's feelings are hurt because of something you did, you didn't hurt them. They made a decision to be hurt by what you did. You can't control how somebody perceives it. There might be somebody else who's so grateful for what you did. You didn't have any choice over that either. That's their gratitude. So do me a favor for the Christmas season, for yourselves, for the people around you. Be willing to look at sort of how you're putting it all together, and then be willing to bring a little bit of an embrace into yourself, a little overview, a little so what into it. You don't need more trauma. The trauma that happened to us as children during Christmas, those are memories that are being fed back to us, okay, in a loop. And they're fun to watch sometimes. It's fun to sort of indulge. Have you ever, like the sad music, the music I play at the beginning of my show? It was almost like too much for me. I love that music. I do. But you can choose to then shift it. Like, you can choose when to open up the door for some grief and sadness. You can let that valve open up, but do it under supervision of yourself. Have a moment where okay, I'm going to let myself indulge in this sadness. I'm not going to let it mean anything, but I'm going to indulge in it. And then I'm going to move on. I'm going to turn it off and move on. Maybe play something different. Or maybe sit in it the whole night and use it as a chance to just drown your sorrows in wine. But don't ever forget that you're doing that. Okay? And they have a choice about it. You really do. One of the choices that we can make is to be a little more loving and to be a little more present with the part of us that is hurt. Because that's all we're looking for. I think that's all any of us are really looking for, just to be seen that there's another way to look at this. That's why I think sometimes meeting new people is fun, because they look at you with fresh eyes like, oh my God, they don't remember that thing I did where I botched everything. And I'm so sorry I did it, because we love to label people in our minds. That's what the mind loves to do. Keep it safe by labeling this person as potentially dangerous. This person's very safe. Right? We love doing that. We love to compartmentalize everyone and everything. But there's a part of you that is none of that. And I'm not being overly romantic about it. There is a part of you choosing which part of you to listen to. Okay? The observer. And so there is a chance where you can I'm giving you 5 minutes to listen to this voice. And then I'm going to pull it back. Because one goal you could make, and that I want to join with you on making, that we make Christmas the majority day beautiful. Okay, the majority of the day beautiful. If you're celebrating Christmas for the reason of Jesus and the Christian-based reason, then use that deeply to remember the love that was there. Okay? If you're celebrating it because it's a cultural thing and you're not Christian and Christmas is Santa Claus, same thing about generosity and love exists in there. Okay? Same message. But whatever it is, have an ability to see that you're making a choice of which direction you're looking in, to bring some love inside, to protect yourself from sort of like the dangers of a mind that wants to criticize the hell out of you, and bring it home in a loving way, and bring yourself home to safety. And let yourself remember that you get to do this anytime you want. But Christmas is a pretty intense one, and we know that. we're going to be here. I'm going to be here. Not going anywhere. And like I was saying, we had a store for the longest time. So Christmas Day is about like, leave me alone and let me do my thing. And it's really fun. It's not fun in the fun sense, but the world is quiet. You know, everyone's celebrating. You have love in your heart. I keep love in my heart for all the people that I've ever known, loved them or hated them, and try to remember that sort of thing, just because it's sort of like, you know, we're just passing through. And that helps me a lot. Okay. Let me see how y'all are doing. We're going to wrap it up here. Kat has a big surprise for you. I'm not telling you what it is. Oh, you're the jumper cables to my Monday mornings. Love that. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. That's very sweet. Okay. Where is your store? I just spent a day shopping in Castle Rock. Oh my God. It's closed, honey. Long time. We closed it in 2007, but we had it. It was on Pearl Street in Denver, Old South Pearl Street. I'm glad you're shopping close by. That's so sweet. Thank you. I have all kinds of Christmas holiday shirts. This one only because it was black and not unwrinkled, but I get a kick out of that. Like, there's another one that is a play on words, but I appreciate you appreciating it. Great show. Thank you. I needed to hear about Christmas sadness and guilt. I'm absolved. Yay! You are. I adore you too. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Y'all are going to make me cry. Don't get me all sad. Jumper cables indeed. Perfect analogy. You guys, listen. I am going to be thinking about you, each and every one of you, Christmas. We'll have the Discord open, and I'm going to do a video for that. I'm just going to keep working and plugging away. It's not an overly romantic holiday for me. It kind of is inside. Like, I want to watch some of the old classics and cartoons and you know, I live with a Capricorn moon who like couldn't care about any of that. So I love that. So whatever you end up doing, please know, I'm a little teary about it because you mean so much to me, but I'm wishing you so much love, so much joy. Stay out of trouble in your own mind. Just stay out of trouble. It's okay. You don't have to engage in any of it. And if you do get into a lot of trouble at Christmas, we're going to like shortcut it to some forgiveness on Friday and after. Okay. I'll see you again next Monday. Stay tuned for Kat. I'll put her address up here. You guys are the best. Good luck with everything. Merry Christmas. Take care of your butts. All right. I will see you soon. Thank you so much.